Now I see why Will Ferrell didn't come back for this. So, I knew that we were getting a Megamind animated series, because that was announced sometime last year, so it's been at least 6 months since that announcement. But what I did not know, and I don't think anybody did until this trailer, was that we were getting a film as well, which I'm assuming is basically an extended pilot for the TV show, called Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate. Oh boy. Now, I was initially very hyped for the show, also, I remember seeing a lot of places that the show was called Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City. It almost seemed like it was some kind of meta-like show, which sounded like it could be pretty interesting if done well. And I really love the first Megamind. It's one of my all-time favorite DreamWorks films. It's incredibly underrated. It sucks that it bombed at the box office. And the reason it's only now getting a sequel 14 years later is because, like I said, it bombed at the box office, and critical and audience reviews were pretty mixed. Had that movie come out a few years ago, the sequel would have happened pretty fast. But, oh man, this really pissed me off, because this looks awful, and I am not the only one who has been, let's say not pleased. I was trying to figure out a way to say it, but the best way I can put it is I am not the only one who is not very happy with how this looks. Because I literally looked up Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate on YouTube to get the trailer, and 2 of the first 5 things that popped up were videos, basically, as far as I can see, were saying, what the fuck is this, why is this, why does this look so bad? And yeah, this looks pretty awful. And again, I was hyped for the show. And by the way, yeah, the show is not called Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City. It's called Megamind Rules. Good God, that sounds like a Disney Junior show. This is why people don't pay for Peacock. That's definitely why I didn't watch it, to watch the fucking Chiefs-Dolphins playoff game. I'm definitely not gonna pay for it for this crap. But holy hell, I know I'm going to end up reviewing it, and it comes out just a few days before Kung Fu Panda 4. I've already said that I will give up on DreamWorks if Kung Fu Panda 4 sucks. DreamWorks will officially be dead to me. This one's pushing it there, because I just reviewed Orion in the Dark, and I thought it was fine until the last, 20 minutes-ish, maybe a little less. This looks awful. The jokes are terrible. The animation looks like something out of fucking Paw Patrol. And I don't mean the movies where they had a reasonable enough budget. I'm talking about the TV show version off of freaking Nickelodeon, which probably has a few $100,000 per episode at most. It looks really cheap. None of the voice actors are here, obviously. I wouldn't return. If I were Will Ferrell or David Cross, Tina Fey, any of the other actors from the movie, if I read the script for this, I wouldn't return for this either. And if you can't get Will Ferrell to return to your movie, who is not exactly my favorite comedian on the planet, yet you got a problem. And we hardly see any of Minion, although given how terrifying he looks with the bad animation, that might be a blessing. No Metro Man. I know he's not a superhero now and anything, he's retired, but you'd think we would have seen him at least once. And this Doom Syndicate just kind of reminds me of the villain group from freaking Minions: The Rise of Gru. Really? I thought DreamWorks was above Illumination, especially when it came to villains, as people tout DreamWorks as having some of the greatest animated villains of all time, even beating out Pixar, with ones like the Kung Fu Panda movies and most of the Shrek movies. And Megamind, with Titan being a very strong, compelling villain. This show, again, they seem like the villain syndicate from Minions: The Rise of Gru. Why are they evil? I don't know. They just are. And Megamind is, pretending to be a villain around them, I guess. I don't really know what his goal is there. Shouldn't they already know that he's the new hero? Wouldn't you think that would be, everywhere, that this guy who's been tormenting the city for decades is now their big hero who just saved them from an all-powerful, godlike being that tried to take over the city? Don't you think that would be kind of important, and anybody probably in the world would already know that, by the way, and there's some random kid who shows up a few times, like he gives her a flash grenade for some reason, and she's in one of the fights for some reason. I don't really understand why. And again, Roxanne is here. She has a few lines. None of them are funny. The humor in this is awful, which again is a cardinal sin here because Megamind is one of the funniest animated movies we've gotten, at least in the 21st century, and I would argue we've ever gotten. And this looks, again, this doesn't even look like, this should not be a direct sequel. This looks like something off of freaking Nick Jr. or Disney Jr. This does not look like it should be a follow-up to a movie that had very mature themes and a very compelling, layered story. This is just shovelware. This is garbage. It's just something they shit out in a matter of months because, oh, it's got Megamind's name attached to it. People will watch it, right? God, I hope people don't watch this, and I know I'm gonna hate this when it eventually comes out on March 1st. So, yeah, that's all I got, and fuck you, DreamWorks, and fuck you, Peacock.